is a unique occasion to have a book published simultaneously en anglais and français about a native son of a northeastern Ontario town.
It was a big parade for Joe. But Joe came back to Gogama with his four-legged wolves.
He's been an extraordinary wolf tamer who lived from 1889 to 1965. The 30 years or so that LaFlamme lived here in Gogama have propelled him on the international scene.
I think I am very, very fortunate to be able to have published this because I think it adds a great chapter to Northeastern Ontario history. This man was part of the history and he disappeared.
I do feel that it is very important to have, you know, a documented book on Joe LaFlamme. There's so many stories, and he is a famous legend.
The life of Joe LaFlamme, I think it deserves to be told. People will get to know him. For the younger generation, they need to know the stuff, you know, to keep their heritage and to know their heritage.
He was in newspapers all over the world, and in Canada and the United States. He was quite a person.
The man's character, that nothing would stop him. If he wanted to do it, he was going to get a moose, or he was going to get a wolf, or a bear. His ability to simply say, I'm going to take these animals and I'm going to go to New York, or I'm going to go to Chicago, or I'm going to go to... And he just did it. It was like there were no obstacles for him. He was a larger-than-life character, yeah. And I thought she caught that really well in the book.
A lot of times we'd run away and not go to school, and I'd go over to Joe LaFlamme's. And Joe would never try to tell us to get out or go home or whatever. He sat you down and he fed you.
He reminds us of a time when, I mean, Joe would not be allowed into Toronto with his wolves anymore on the streets. It just wouldn't happen. And this was a time when we were a younger country, where we were in some ways a more innocent country, and Joe showed us that we could be larger than ourselves. It's a very good read. She tells a very good story.
And sharing this wonderful story of the legend that we do have, I think it's terrific. Suzanne's done a great job, you know, depicting Joe as who he is, who he was, and I'm sure there's so many other stories out there that she'll probably get more ideas, and hopefully there'll be a sequel to her terrific book. Film would be wonderful.
If you want a piece of the culture of Canada, someone who takes it into the heart of the cities, Toronto, Montreal, New York. In fact, he was embraced in all these places. They loved him. Crowds, huge crowds came. So there's something in our North American psyche about we live in a rough place or a cold place or a wild place that's still there, and Joe just exemplified that. He went from the city into the wilderness, carved out a life for himself, and then brought it back to show everybody. He wasn't afraid to take things right to the heart of the society.
Everybody has a passion, and it's to find it and live it through. I think Joe lived his life with a lot of passion. He had a passion for life. He had a passion for animals. I believe that's his message that Joe LaFlamme is leaving us today, to find and live our own passion. So have a good read.